Hey guys, this is Rachel from 3rd CSE. Today I'm going to be talking about my 5th exercise in database systems, and it's about views and subqueries. So before I go into the questions, I would like to explain what's views and subqueries. So a view is nothing but a virtual table based on a result of an SQL statement. A view contains rows and columns just like a real table. The fields in a view are fields from one or more real tables in the database. What is a subquery? A subquery is nothing but an inner query, or it is a nested query within another SQL query and embedded within where clause. Okay, so it can be embedded within where or from. If it's inside from, it's called an inline view. A subquery is used to return a data that will be used in the main query as a condition to further restrict the data to be retrieved. So having explained that, let me move on to the questions for this exercise. Okay, as you can see here, the first question is to create a view called customer view based on the customer ID and customer name, and we have to replace the city as customer city. So it can be done using the following way. So this is something called as an alias name. So as you can see, the alias name for city is going to be customer city, and create view is the command. So the view is going to be the view that's going to be created is customer view, and that I do it from the customer table. So this city will be replaced by the alias name customer city. So here it is: customer ID, customer name, and customer city. That is for the first question. And the second question is to select the view name and text from the user views data dictionary. So the data dictionary is user views is like a dictionary which contains of all the different views and all the different texts. So yeah, here as you can see, I've used the command select view name and text from the user views. So here you get all the different text and all the different view name. That is for the second question. My third question is to create a customer view, enter a query to display all the customer names and customer city. So this I have done here. So I've just created it using a create view command because I'm going to be creating a new view here. So as you can see here, I've done sorry, just a minute. Yeah, I've selected the customer name, customer city from the customer view. So as you know, customer view is the first view we created in this exercise, and it'll display the name and the customer city. The fourth question is to create a view named CA view that contains the customer ID, customer names, and customer address. So the condition is the city name should be CA. So if that is there, then all the details regarding that particular customer is displayed here. So as you can see, I've done it here. I've created a view called CA view, and the columns that are going to be displayed are customer ID, customer name, and customer address, and the state is going to be CA. So Henry Smith and Richard Newman have state CA. My fifth question is to reassign Mary Smith to the city NT from the view CA view. So the question is if the view is updatable, and yes, the view can be updated. So that is done here. Just a minute. As you can see, I've updated the view CA view, and the customer's address is going to be 4039, and where the customer name is going to be Henry Smith. So as you can see, that particular row has been updated. The question 6 is to create 3 different types of view 1, view 2, and view 3 is a combination of the view v1 and view v2. So here we have to create 3 different views, and These are the different views. So this is my view V1, which consists of a customer name, order ID, and order quantity. The condition here is to equate the customer ID from the customer table and the customer ID of the order table, and so it goes for order ID and order ID of the order line and order ID of the order table. So it's just obtaining this is for obtaining the first view. For the second view V2, we are gonna use three different tables: order one, order line, and supplier. And as you can see, I've equated the different the conditions that that are given here are like I have to equate the order ID of the order table and the order ID of the order line table, and also the product ID of the order line table and the product ID of the supplier table to get this view 2. And view 3 is just a combination of view 1 and view 2. So the customer name and the order ID and order date is to be obtained from view. The view 1 is something that's gonna give me the customer name, and view 2 will give me the order ID and order date. So combining these two together using the order ID of V1 and V2, I've created the view V3. So that is for my 6th question. My 7th question is to display the latest 10 orders. So this is an example for the inline view. As you can see here, the row num is another keyword which will help me display the first 10 or the last 10, something like based on ascending or descending order, and we have to also use group by for this. So this is how it's going to be done. Select row num as order ID and order date, and as you can see, I have ordered this has to be ordered by order ID because we have been asked to find the last 10 orders. So order ID, if it is done in descending order, then we will get the last 10 orders that has been placed. So the next question is going to be to list the two order ID with the least order quantity. So that can be done again using the same kind of command, except that the grouping is done by order quantity, and the grouping is done just a minute, it's right here. Yeah, the grouping is done by ordered quantity, and it is done in ascending order. And as you can see, it's been this is like the first is order ID 107 and the second is going to be the order ID 104. The ninth question is to find the ID of the customers who have ordered for cherry or red oak finish. So this we have to use different keywords like in and any. As you know, like when two subqueries are compared with each other, if it is a single, if it returns single value, it just suffices to use equal to. But then if it returns a subquery, if it returns multiple value, we might have to use in, because when multiple values are returned, the main query will not be able to understand it if these keywords are not used. It won't be able to process all the outputs. So as you can see, for this I've used in and also any. Any is something which compares the output with each, it doesn't equate it with all the outputs, it's just one particular output. So as you can see, the customer ID 3 and 1 I've obtained. They are said to have a cherry or a red oak finish. The next question is question number 10. Find the ID of the customers who have ordered for the product table lamp. Here we have been asked to use in. So I'm going to get the customer ID from the order table, where the order ID should be equal to the order ID from the order line table, where the product ID is equal to the product ID from the product table, where the product description is going to be table lamp. Since it returns multiple values, we are using the keyword in, and that's how we obtain that the customer ID 2 has ordered for the product table lamp. The question number 11 is to find the details of the customer who have ordered for product ID 1000. So this is similar to the previous question. It's just the same thing. We are using the in commands and the product ID. When the description is equal to 1000, we will be getting that Mary Smith is one customer who has ordered for this particular order product with the product ID 1000. The 12th question is to find the supplier whose total supply quantity is greater than the supplier named BBB. So this is done here. As you can see, I'm asked to find the total supply quantity, so a keyword called sum is used. The sum will just total all the quantity. So from this is obtained from the supplier table, and we have grouped by the supplier name. So when group by is used, the condition we will be giving is using having. So the sum quantity is greater than any of the quantity from the supplier table where the supplier name is BBB. So which means it'll be greater than that of the quantity with the of the person with the name BBB. So as you can see, I have EE and this is the sum quantity which is being displayed here. That is for the 11th question, my 12th question, sorry, and my 13th question is to find the supplier with highest rating using all condition. So to get the name, we just need the S name of the supplier where the rating will be equal to this time it will compare every single output that is obtained from the subquery. So max of rating will give me the maximum rating. So the supplier EEE will have a rating which is greater than that of the maximum rating. I mean, will have the maximum rating. The 14th question is to display the products that are similar to the product ordered by Kathy Cook. So they haven't directly mentioned what is ordered by Kathy Cook. We will find it using this query. We need to obtain the product description from the product table, where the product ID will be equal to the product ID from the order line table, where the order ID will be equal to the excuse me, order ID from the order table, and where the customer ID will be equal to the customer ID from the customer table, and the customer name is be given as Kathy Cook. So this is the product which is similar to the product ordered by Kathy Cook, that is the duplex bookshelf. And the 15th question is to display the supplier details whose supplied quantity is greater than the quantity of the order 103. So for this question, we're just going to you'll just be selecting the supplier name and the supplier ID from the from the supplier table, where the product ID of the supplier should be equal to that of the product ID of the order line table, where the order ID should be equal to 103, and the quantity supplier quantity is greater than that of the order line quantity. Like since there is no person, I mean since there is no supplier whose quantity is greater than that of the quantity of the order ID 103, there are no rows that are being selected here. The question number 16 is something similar to this. Here we have been we have been asked to display the ordered quantity of the order whose order date is greater than that of the order date of the order ID 106. So the same thing is used, just that we are using a comparison here to see if the date is greater than any of the order date from order ID from the order table, where the order ID is equal to 106, then we have been asked to display that particular row. But since there is no ordered quantity greater than that, no rows have been selected. So this is it for my 5th experiment. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you.